Now, as we just saw, throughout the day, local communities have been running in and out of these public shelters to try and save themselves from these incoming rockets. Our Pierre Eclochender explains how long it takes to get in these shelters.
We don't know if there's a lull or if there's no lull right now. We're a bit on the edge because we just saw from behind us 3 launches, flares of rocket attacks, and it's just near this community of 800 people. So we're going to go next to the shelter. We have exactly 10 seconds to run to the shelter if there is a rocket attack. Right now, there is no rocket attack, but it's very close from here. So we're running to some sort of improvised shelter that Igor Basilenko, our cameraman, is going to show you. This is a cylinder made of cement, and there is a wall which is protecting that cylinder. And in order to avoid the shrapnels from entering this cylinder, Igor, come to us. And there are about 10 people who can be here. Or Bar Ilan is a 3rd-generation member of this kibbutz community. She's been living here all her life. She's 23 years old. Or there's been 9 hours of incessant attacks here. How do you feel?
To be honest, right now, my heart is beating very fast. We had massive explosion now, and I'm sorry, it's a bit difficult to find the words, especially when you translate into another language. It's a difficult day as usual. We always have these days, but you can never get used to it. It looks like you think, oh, for 20 years they're living this situation. Maybe they get used to it. No, you cannot get used to have a direct threat to your life. You just cannot.
You were born basically when rockets started falling on Israeli territory from the Gaza Strip, 3 years after you were born, actually.
Yeah. It's what I remember for my entire life, from planning the kindergarten, from going to high school, when I do my SAT that we have in Israel. And everything I do, we always have it in our life, surrounding our lives, everything based on it.
Now we hear on our cell phones the red alerts, and the red alerts very close to this place. Here, there is an alert. Yevgeny, get in.
Get down,
okay.
Get down. Yevgeny, it's not funny, it's dangerous.
There is a rocket. We can hear. We just heard an interception. A second interception.
Even if it's not an interception, how can you know? You cannot know.
We can know because we've heard we've heard the noise of an anti-missile battery. We believe it's an interception.
Yes, but you know that in the kibbutz next to here, I work in the kindergarten, and one of the girls in my kindergarten, a part of the Iron Dome fell on their house. It was an explosion. It blew up the rocket, but it fell on the house. So you still need to stay in the safe room. It's not funny.
Do you want to peep outside and see what's going on? Let's see.
If it was me by myself, I wouldn't go outside, but okay, for the camera. Yeah, it was right next to us.
It was probably next to us. We don't know. In any case, you can see we are quite on the edge here because every 15 minutes or so, since 10 a.m. local, that is about 9.5 hours from now, there's been rockets falling on Israeli territory, and this place has not been spared at all. We've been here for the past 6 hours, and every 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so, there's been either a rocket attack or an Israeli retaliation on a Hamas or Islamic Jihad position, or else a tank firing just a mile away from here, and all the time you hear the loud explosions, and the people are obviously on edge. And what's different from previous rounds of confrontation is not much. Over 200 rocket attacks in 9.5 hours. There's been already more than 50 Israeli attacks on Gaza territory. The only thing which is changing is the context. In March, during the previous round of confrontation, there were Israeli elections which provoked some sort of restraint on the Israeli side. This time, it's the Israeli festivities of the Days of Independence and the Eurovision Festival. On the Palestinian side, it's the holy month of Ramadan starting either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So only the context is changing in this terrible equation, which is not changing at all. This is Pierre Clochendler in the kibbutz community of Kfar Aza, I-24 News.